The moon is in Capricorn today, and Capricorn is the stoic of the 12 energies. Diametrically opposite to it is Cancer, who revels in emotions. Cancer is the proverbial king or queen of cups, and its best expression, Cancer knows how to express emotions, how to use them in a constructive, productive way. We have all known at least one person who can actually cry and scream and dramatize, and then springs up and done. It's over. The emotions have been used up, spent out, move on. Anyway, but Capricorn on the other side knows that you can't really cook the rice with emotions. You can't cook the rice talking. You can't, Gemini style. You can't cook the rice by meditating, Pisces style. All earth energies, and Capricorn is one of them, are very practical, and they deal with the physical element, with the matter aspect. That's why they earth. And so Capricorn knows that you actually have to do work to get that rice cooking and you can have a meal. But Capricorn takes this one step further. If it ended simply by knowing how to cook the rice, that would not be a Capricorn. That will be a Virgo energy. Virgo with the attention to details and measuring precisely the salt and the water and the rice ratio and timing everything down to the last second, how long it takes to boil. That is Virgo. Capricorn takes the awareness beyond that and recognizes that there are 8 billion souls on this planet. You cannot feed everybody. So what gives? Capricorn devises a way, builds a structure or a system where that system can ideally self-sustain or propagate with minimum supervision. This is where the executive abilities of Capricorn come from. And so Capricorn sets on to create that system that can actually create meals for all people on the planet. Or Capricorn also has this abilities to recognize people and their skills around itself and says, okay, I can delegate this task to this person. I can delegate that task to the other person. This person is very good in details, maybe has Virgo energy there strongly emphasized, and they will be in charge of measuring the salt to water to grain ratio. And Capricorn also can spot resources and figure out a way to use the resources in the most efficient way. So their efficiency is another keyword for Capricorn, but efficiency on a grand scale, in an institutional way, efficiency in using resources within a system. And so where are you going to use? How are you going to use that Capricorn energy today? For me, Capricorn is in the 4th house, which usually the classical keywords are family and home and spiritual development, spiritual roots, and it will work. That is normally why I actually like to spend my Capricornian energies. I like to set up systems at home so that my family can feed themselves even when I'm not there. But here I am. I'm actually going to work right now, so I can't really do or focus or pay or put energy into family and home. What can I do? This is where excuse me, this is where you go and look at all the phrases, keywords, buzzwords that you can find for the 4th house. For me specifically, I need to go and look up the 4th house. Remember, the division is somewhat arbitrary of those 12 signs. There's some meaning, very deep meaning and symbolism, but when we try to express that symbolism in words, things are somewhat limited. And so we have to recognize that limitation. I can give you 5 phrases and they might not be enough, because life is about the whole experience. And at best, I can give you just like 3, 4, 5 buzzwords or phrases. But there isn't somewhat integral division of our life and the aspects that we see. And so fourth house will stand for that aspect of life. But again, I will give you some keywords, but you have to remember that as a Course in Miracles frequently points out, words are but symbols of symbols, and as such, they're twice removed from reality. So take it with a grain of salt. But when I go and look at the keywords for the fourth house is also foundations. I find it at the base of my chart. And so visually, so if you forget about the words, visually picture where the fourth house is. It's at the position of the 6 o'clock, if that is like your clock. And it's only natural to symbolize the roots, the foundations. Aha. So here's my keyword. Foundations. I'm going to work on foundations, which reminds me that there have been a collection of files that I've been meaning to go and review and create a master file out of those files. Because in the last 6 months, or actually a year, I found myself having to reach out to those files over and over and over for the same type of information. So it's been a while. It's been frustration, actually. Every time I say, okay, I really need to fish out that information and organize it and put it separately in master file, and it will save me so much time and effort. Do you hear the Capricornian energy here? You're creating a master file. You're not getting bogged down into the details of each file or all those details. You want to create a system that allows you easy access or central access to all that information that you have been constantly reaching out and accessing over and over and over. Virgo wouldn't have minded. Virgo would have been enjoying the details of each file. Taurus doesn't even have that much awareness. Taurus usually is just like, I do it because it's my job. It's the Capricorn of the 3 earth energies that says, hold on, I can make my life more efficient. I can make my work more efficient. So there it is. Today, I will do that master file that I have been thinking and plotting and planning and telling myself that it will be a good thing to have at work and make myself more efficient. What about you? For you, you have to find where Capricorn lies in your chart. Maybe it's in the 10th house and it's more about public visibility, reputation, career. Or it could be in the 5th house and it will be more about creative, playful expression. Here you have several options. The first one, of course, is pay someone, an astrologer, your favorite astrologer. I do astrology readings. You can do that. And that person will tell you, it's like, okay, here's your Capricorn, here's the house, here's what you can expect. Many people prefer to go to the option number 2. And the option number 2 is to find your answer by yourself. The internet is full of information. You can go on social media, videos, you can read blogs, you can... lately, my favorite way to get into my research, to start researching a new topic, is to simply go to one of the 3 or 4 major AI tools and I say, please give me a list of the attributes of this, or please research this topic for me. So I've done this a lot. On astrology, for instance, sometimes I would say, okay, what would you make of this configuration? And the AI tool will go and give me a very quick review of what is out there, everything that has been put by others. You have to remember with the AI tools, just as we used to do with the Google search engine 10 years ago, that you have to apply discernment and you will depend on your own discernment. So don't take everything that comes out of the AI tool for granted. Always take it with a grain of salt. And so when the AI tool gives you that list of attributes for your house, so let's say you find Capricorn in the 8th house of your chart. For that, you have to do it yourself. There are plenty of astrological apps. They will ask you for your birth date, location, and hour, and they will give you the chart and they'll give you exactly which sign is in which house. So that is a work that you have to do, again, unless you want to go and pay an astrologer. So you have to find your chart. So I'll assume that you already have a copy of your chart. And then you ask the AI tool, and the AI tool is going to give you a list of options. For me, for instance, will be home, house, family. Maybe, if I'm lucky, it will say foundations, spiritual roots. Those are my favorite keywords, but I've noticed that many people, many astrologers out there don't. It all depends on where the focus is and how they're reading. So for me, I always add that foundations of your life. Think about the roots. The 6 o'clock on that clock chart is the very bottom. Those are your feet planted on the ground beneath you. When you have solid ground, you can grow up. You can grow your career, which is the 10th house. When you have solid ground, you can branch out left and right and have better relationships. So everything springs from that ground, and that's how I view it. You will get a different list for house 5, 6, 7, whichever house contains that Capricorn energy for you, and you'll have to exercise discernment. There's a third option here, and that is I created it for my students because I offered what I enjoy to have. Sometimes you just have a couple of quick questions and you don't want to pay the money for an hour. I mean, it's lovely, but at some point it's expensive. and you can do only that much circling and chasing through rabbit holes your own information. But every now and then, wouldn't it be nice to have someone who can just actually give you a quick answer? And so my middle ground here was to offer twice a month a lab class, which is very interactive. So anybody who signs up 1 week in advance of those hours, actually I pull out their chart, or they can actually send me questions and I'll answer those questions during the lab. So there is also that middle ground for you if it interests you. But ultimately, it's much more fun to find the answers yourself. And on the moon in Capricorn day, it's going to be something efficient, something related to systems, something that takes the resources or people around and rearranges it in the most efficient, solid structure and system that almost sustain itself without minimum effort on your part. And that is how you enter the effortless reality.